Why web tech for this kind of thing? Why not stick to the C++, the Java, like the Minecraft milieu, right? Where Minecraft started, where it is it still a Java thing mostly today? I don't know what the game proper is. I know there's lots of different versions of it now.
Yeah, it's actually a pretty interesting matrix of game versions. The version that we work on is affectionately called the Bedrock edition of Minecraft, and it's actually written in C++. It was originally a code base that was built for Minecraft Pocket Edition, which runs on iOS and Android. Nowadays, the code base, if you play Minecraft on Xbox, Switch, PlayStation, basically anything besides a desktop, including some desktops. You can play it on desktop, but if you play it on anything that's not a desktop, you're playing the Bedrock edition, which is written in C++. And why web tech? I will say when we first started, Raf brought a particular flavor of JavaScript to our team, but before that, we weren't married to web tech. We just saw a scripting engine. So we were looking around for ways that we could let people write code backing their creations on all these different platforms. And writing something like C++ didn't really scale to most of our platforms. Um, most platforms that we ship on, you can't load dynamic libraries or anything like that. Um, so over the last 8 years, we've been kind of skirting around, trying to allow people to write script, and we have all these different solutions which are really kind of configuration driven. All these giant state machines and JSON files and stuff like that, and it gets to be just complete chaos. And so when we started looking at how do we let people write code, JavaScript was a pretty big contender just because of scripting. Lua was another contender. There's a bunch of other scripting languages that we could have picked, but we landed on JavaScript and prototyping it with a library called QuickJS, which is really easy, similar to a Lua. Implementing it is one header file, one C file, so it's super easy to embed, and that's what we've stuck with so far. And since then, we've really leaned into web tech a lot more, in terms of npm, all the rich ecosystem of tooling that JavaScript web tech kind of allows us to use, which is pretty neat. You get a lot for free when you lean into another ecosystem like that.
Big thing too is that a lot of the modders and hobbyists, and or as we kind of blanket call them, creators, they really span the gamut of skill levels. Some people get really knowledgeable around any esoteric modding system we introduce, like the state machines and packs that Jake was alluding to earlier. We get experts in that, and they build tools around that. And a lot of the modders also do not program at all, and so a very low barrier entry point language is really helpful to kind of introduce them to kind of levels of programming that let them do crazier things in the game, really. Because like was mentioned by Jake, the extension story, or rather the API surface of Minecraft, scripting is just one part of it. It's probably actually one of the smaller parts of it right now. It's just one of the most powerful. The other ones are we've got commands, which is very familiar to a lot of Minecraft players, which you open the chat or command menu in game, and there's slash commands that let you do a lot of powerful things. A lot of modders actually implement entire games using those commands that execute. There's then JSON files, data-driven JSON files, and that's where you can say, like, introduce a block JSON, like my block.json. We have a schema for it. You can specify its properties. We really try to keep those definitional. We have a small query language called Molang that's used for customizing behavior. Has its own parsing engine and can be quite powerful, but we try to keep it scoped into what it does. And then scripting is the main fourth one there. On top of that adds the dynamic behavior that developers in the studio, like the team in Stockholm that writes the new gameplay for new releases, they often write that in C++ today. And since creators cannot do that, the scripting engine is their way to kind of add that same type of dynamic behavior on top of that. But yeah, since it's JavaScript and all of the web tech and NPM and all that stuff,